Hello, John McConnin here with favoriterealestate.com, experthomeprices.com. I'm an attorney and a realtor, and today we're going to talk about the expert home pricing aspect of my websites. What I would do before I talk to anybody is I like to find out what's going on in the market. Now, I may know a particular market well, but I still want to know what's going on in the last few weeks. So I go over to InfoSparks. I have a tool on the website I will link to that's very similar. In a way, it's better, but it's not. You can't drill down as much. But here I would go, and even though we're looking at the most expensive home for fun in Poway, I would want to know what's going on in 92064. I might then break it down by ranges, but here's what I would do. I look at the sold listings. I look at the pending sales. They're spiking up. So therefore, I look at new listings. They're coming on the market. I think the pending sales beat them out. So I would expect active listings to be low, and I would expect month inventory. We're going to look at this. I'm going to take it out for the max amount of time. You can see we're above where it was crazy when there was very hard to find a very good house at any price in any neighborhood. And the only houses were coming up were the less desirable ones because people were holding on. To now, what we've learned is that I still see for buyers lots of nice properties coming on the market, but buyers have to be prepared to buy them, and they might have to be prepared to outdo the competition. Doesn't mean you have to outbid them, but you have to have a good representative helping you in presenting your ability to close and why this property is the property you're interested in, and communicating. And I noticed so many agents do not communicate with the listing broker. So many listing agents do not really communicate with the buyer's agent or broker. It's just amazing to me, really, because I find that's what makes deals, both when I'm the listing agent or the buyer's agent. I learned about the buyer's agent from a great buyer's agent in my office who found out that you can ask a lot of listing agents anything and you can find out the information most of the time. I was absolutely amazed that listing agents give away information. I think a listing agent's job is to present information to make buyers feel confident, but they should speak with their seller first so they know where the limits are. That's another story for another video about representing people in multiple offer situations and all that, which Carr has asked me to train agents on multiple offers. And in my opinion, if you're going to sell in a market like this, and you're going to experience multiple offers because your house is reasonably priced or in demand, you either want to do it on your own or you want to do it with a really experienced agent. Regular agents, especially non-brokers who can't make decisions, or brokers who realize they're not lawyers, they have trouble representing buyers with multiple offers, and they really don't do it the optimal way for the seller. They do it the way to avoid the lawsuit. And you don't necessarily want that. It also scares buyers away sometimes the way they do things. And they feel hamstrung because that's what they're told to do. So as a seller, you've got to really look into how they're going to represent you in multiple offers in this market, because this is what you can expect if you have a desirable home, you price it well. So anyway, we see the inventories are low because pending nice properties are coming on the market, but the buyers are out buying them. Now, once we determine that, and in a luxury property, I drill down in your price ranges or square footage, and we'd really get a good feel. At that point, price per square foot matters more, and we'll take a look at those things. But then we move over. Now we've got a feel for the market. Then we move over to the property, and now we're going to do a CMA and a comp. I do it in two parts. One, I do a total market overview, where I look at, in a relevant area, let's say it would be the zip code, or in a subdivision that had a lot of sales, I might look at the subdivision. But in a relevant area, I look at everything that happened for the last year. Why? Because you will find anomalies that agents who only use the CMA or algos on the internet to inform them of their prices will come up with mispricings because anomalies happen. I saw that houses in the segment of the 3,000 square foot home, which might have been 3,200 and 2,800 homes, were selling it at a price per square foot that was $20 a square foot less. And on a 3,000 square foot home, that number adds up, like $60,000. I saw it had been going on for like the last 5 or 6 sales. So the houses on the lower side were going at a higher price per square foot, and the houses on the upper side, the big houses were going at a higher price per square foot. I'm not talking about the luxury homes, but I'm talking about 3,200 to 4,000 square feet, and houses under 2,800 were going for higher prices than for some reason these 5 houses were going for in the 3,000 square foot range. I knew the neighborhood, but I examined the comps just to make sure, and there was no discernible reason. During negotiations, when buyers brought up the issue, well, in multiple offer situations, we'd like to come up higher, but we're worried. This is a great line for buyer's agents, but we're worried about it appraising. I said, I don't have any worry about it appraising. That's an anomaly. Anybody who does the appraisals can see the price per square foot in this neighborhood's now been this, and it's still going higher. So let's not worry about the appraisal. We'll worry about that at the time. But do your clients want to buy this house? Because we have multiple offers. People are going to pay the money. And do they want to be in? And we suggested that to the strong buyers who looked like they financially could close quickly and they had reasons to buy. So, and instead of chasing them away like the previous agent had chased buyers away by not negotiating multiple offers well at 880, 85, 890 prices, we were well over $900,000 prices in not chasing people away. So representation matters. But let's go to just find out. So that's the idea of a total market overview and why it can be better. Sorry. Why? Oh, maybe it was. Why it could be better. So anyway, if we were doing a total market overview, and this is harder to come by for people, I would go click on the property. Well, first of all, we would adjust things sort of the way people might this has an appraisal module in it, and an appraiser can go in and change local market conditions, and I would make sure that the luxury home market was experiencing local market conditions that were consistent with the rest of the county, and I would adjust these things, and those are sometimes pretty conservative adjustments, by the way. Then we go to comp analysis, and the comp analysis, after I've already confirmed the facts, I would find the comps, and I would eliminate. Like I already know that this is going to be a problem because there's not a lot of homes with 12 beds, but the software finds houses that are similar. This is how algos on the internet. And believe me, we work with CoreLogic algos on the website. I know how they work. They pick similar properties and they go to reasonable distances and they try to make reasonable adjustments in their algos to come up with a price. A property like this isn't going to really do well with the algos. But my point would be I would take, for the total market overview, before we even considered how we refine it, we'd take all these things out, right? And we might even take out that. Well, we might leave in the price per square foot just to see how that happens because these are luxury properties. So let's see what happens when we come up with the price per square foot limiters. So this, although it might not necessarily be the total market algo, this is probably going to be necessary to go to the next step, right? So that we would then, I just pull them all over in total market overview so we could then get the printout. It's like a 30 to 60 page report depending on which one I pick with all the properties. And I want to compare and contrast them. My clients may or may not want to do that. But before I make decisions, I want to do that. So first we pull them all in. Then we would go back, like we can click out of this. We would go back. I'd find the comps, and I'd go to modify, and I would, I might put in, for a normal home, 4 to 6 beds. If we're a 4 to 6 beds home, 3 to 5. And I'd put in some numbers. And then I would go to the map, and then I would see the homes that are nearby, and then I'd study them. And that's generally the CMA. That's where the algos come off of. This, in the end, this software comes up with a price. I like to talk to clients about a range. And, I'm like, first I ask them to describe their home, and we see if their home should be in the high end of the range or the low end of the range. And then after we get a feel for what makes their house special, how it compares and contrasts to the other properties in the range, we would push it towards the upper end or the middle of the range. And then I'd say, and now how are we going to market the property? And I talk about how different properties take different types of marketing, but if it's a property that shows well, maybe we want to have a pre-MLS weekend where we get some excitement. We send things around in the neighborhood. We promote it on Craigslist. We promote it on Facebook. We try to develop sort of a scarcity and a lot of interest in the property, trying to get buyers to make a push to push it over the range. Maybe it's not the type of property that would really be that susceptible to that. Well, then we talk about maybe incentivizing the buyer's agents to bring their people to their buyers early in the process and solicit offers. And I know if you're really incentivizing buyer's agents properly, you see a lot of offers coming in close to your list price. So you don't have as many negotiation problems. You also seem to get the better buyers who are ready to go and don't want to fool around and want the property. So that we talk about their different marketing ways. But so basically, in short, get a feel for what's going on in the area. Then do a total market overview. Then go with the standard CMA type deal to price your properties. John McConnin, favoriterealestate.com and experthomeprices.com. Thank you.